What's happening, folks? I'm Christian Bold, and on behalf of the New Orleans Jazz Museum, I want to welcome you back to an incredible performance this afternoon. We've got another cat who I've been in the trenches with, an incredible trumpet player, along with his incredibly talented trio, Mr. Jelani Bauman, y'all. Welcome him in.
Yeah, you can clap. Yeah. How's everybody feeling? What's up, family? Welcome to the New Orleans Jazz Museum. My name is Jelani Bauman. Give it up for Max Bronstein on the guitar. Get comfortable. So the first selection we just played for you guys was entitled "The Chic of Araby." It's great to be in this space again. I was here for the gala in December, and now I'm fortunate to bring another group back here. And today's theme, I'm going to dive into the different selections from the traditional New Orleans repertoire. And be it that we're in February, Black History Month, even though this is something we want to celebrate all year round, but I wanted to give some homage to my ancestors. I'm fortunate enough to come from a really rich lineage, and today we're going to be diving into different selections that I feel like reflect the contributions of my ancestors and my predecessors. And yeah, I hope you enjoy it. The next tune we're going to play is entitled "Someday You'll Be Sorry." Yes, yes. Someday you'll be sorry. Um, so the next song is a song that I always had a strong reference with. It's entitled "Is Exactly Like You." Um, Hope you enjoy it. That's how we do it. So before we bring up our third member of the trio, we're gonna do one more number. This is a number that I heard played by my grandfather, the great Umar Sharif, Emory Humphrey Thompson, and my uncle, the great Jamil Sharif. Another one that just always resonated with me. And it's a tune I enjoy playing. It's entitled Indiana. Hope you enjoy. All right. So now we're gonna bring up the number 3 in the trio. Give it up for the lovely Miss Alex Hope Kramer.
bye, blackbird. No one here can love or understand me. Oh, what hard luck stories they all hand me. Make my bed, I'll light the lights. I'll be home late tonight, blackbird. Bye bye. Make my bed, I'll light the light. I'll be home late tonight. Bye bye, blackbird. Make my bed and light the light. I'll be home late tonight. Bye bye, blackbird. No one here could love or understand me. Oh, what hard luck stories they all hand me. Once again, I'll make my bed and light the light. I'll be home late tonight. Blackbird, blackbird, blackbird. Bye bye.
Yes, yes. That was our rendition of the lovely standard Bye Bye Blackbird. And now we're going to transition into another notable New Orleans number entitled Do You Know What It Means to Miss New Orleans?
Do you know what it means to miss New Orleans and miss it each night and day? I know I'm not wrong. The feeling's getting stronger the longer I stay. The moss-covered vines, the tall sugar pines, where mockingbirds used to sing. And I love to see the lazy Mississippi hurrying into spring. The moonlight on the bayou, a Creole tune that fills the air. I dream about magnolias in bloom, and soon I'm wishing that I was there. Do you know what it means to miss New Orleans when that's where you left your heart? And there's something more. I miss the one I care for more than I miss New Orleans.
Cool. Do you know what it means to miss New Orleans? Yeah. So this next tune, some background on this. The next tune is entitled "Ain't Misbehaving" by the great Fats Waller, and the connection with me and my family with this one. My grandfather Umar Sharif, he played lead trumpet in the 1989 Broadway review of Black and Blue that featured some of the greats such as Carol, Linda Hopkins, and Ruth Brown, and Ain't Misbehaving was one of the songs from that musical, and I remember growing up and seeing the poster from that, and then getting a chance to see different footage from that musical, and hearing about the different musicians who were in that band, such as the great Grady Tate on drums, Sir Roland Hannon was on piano, Bill Easley was one of the saxophonists, and yeah, so it's another one that just always resonated with me and had a special place in my heart. I remember just growing up, like learning trumpet, and when at the time I didn't really hear too many recordings of my grandfather, and seeing some of that footage from Black and Blue was like a real transformative experience for me to hear him play these songs and hear his sound and hear his improvisation. So here's one of the songs from that musical entitled "Ain't Misbehaving" by the great Fats Waller.
Yeah. No, I'm talking all by myself. No one to talk with, all by myself. No one to walk with, but I'm happy on the shelf. Ain't misbehaving, saving all my love for you. I know for certain the one I love. I'm through with flirting and it's just you I'm dreaming of. Ain't misbehaving, saving all my love for you. Like Jack Warner in the corner, don't go nowhere, what do I care? Your kisses are worth waiting for, believe me. I don't stay out late, I've got no place to go. I'm home about 8 and it's just me and my radio. Ain't misbehaving, saving all my love for you. Got no place to go. I'm home about 8 and it's just me and my radio. Ain't misbehaving, saving all my love for you. Like Jack Warner in the corner, don't go nowhere. What do I care? Your kisses are worth waiting for. Believe me, I don't stay out late and I've got no place to go. So I am home at about 8, just me and my radio. I'm misbehaving, saving love for you.
So this is a perfect transition. So another one of the songs, actually that first video that I saw from the Black and Blue Broadway musical was it was a clip of the song After You Gone, which is our next selection. And yeah, this was like one of the first solos I heard my grandfather play. Like he's not, you don't see it, he's not in the picture, but you can hear him in the pit orchestra. And it's man, it's such a masterful solo where you hear the melody of the song, but you also you hear his improvisation all intertwined. And it's something that I listened to countless numbers of times. And yeah, and I went on to like hearing that song, played by other great musicians, but this one, his interpretation of it always stuck out to me. And yeah, that's our next selection that we are getting ready to perform for you.
We can do it faster or slow.
Right on?
Yeah.
1, 2.
Bestest pal you've ever had. There'll come a time, now don't forget it. There'll come a time when you'll regret it. Whoa, babe, when you feel lonely, your heart will beat like mine and you'll want me only. After you've gone, after you've gone away. always the bestest pal you've ever had. There'll come a time, oh, you'll regret it. There'll come a time, don't you forget it. Oh, babe, when you feel lonely, your heart will beat like mine and you'll want me only after you've gone, after you've gone away.
A little after you gone. So we're gonna slow things down and gonna play a ballad entitled Stardust. Stardust happens to be one of my favorite ballads to perform, and there's another one that I've heard played by my uncle, and I've never heard a recording my grandfather play, but I heard this was one of his favorite ballads to play as well. And this one was just kind of naturally one of mine that I love playing pretty much every time I have a trio gig or a duo gig or something like that. If there's a ballad I can choose, this is one that I always go to. And Miss Alex, she's gonna do her interpretation of it, and I hope you enjoy.
And now the purple dusk of twilight time steals across the meadow of my heart. Love is now the stardust of yesterday, the music outwarding when we're apart. You wander down the lane and far away, leaving me a song that will not die. Love is now the stardust of yesterday, the music of the years gone by. Sometimes I wonder why I spend the lonely nights dreaming of a song. The melody haunts my reverie, and I am once again with you. When our love was new, and each kiss an inspiration. But that was long ago, and now my consolation is in the stardust of a song. Beside the garden wall, where stars are bright, you are in my arms. The nightingale tells its fairy tale, a paradise where roses bloom. Though I dream in vain, in my heart it will remain, my stardust melody, the memory of love's refrain. The nightingale tells its fairy tale of paradise where roses bloom, though I dream in vain. In my heart it will remain, my stardust melody, the memory of love's refrain.
Yes, yes. So then we'll be coming towards the end. Once again, Mr. Max Bronstein on the guitar. Miss Alex Hope Kramer on the vocals. My name is Jelani Bauman. But before we close out, today is a special day. Oh yes.
Oh, Lord.
So bring the camera over here. So a great person is in the room. Mr. Kareem Sharif, today is his birthday. Happy birthday to my Uncle Kareem Sharif. Yes, yes. One of the great people in this world, period. He's one of one, and that's no exaggeration. And we're gonna give him a quick birthday, happy birthday shout out. And I appreciate you, Uncle. We all appreciate you. I love you. And man, I'm glad you'd be here. Shout out to my cousin Kadir is here. They're in town from Atlanta. Shout out to Miss April coming up from Maine, Northeast represent. And so a quick happy birthday.
Sure. A little higher or a little lower, either way. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Kareem, one of one. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Sing it with me. I know y'all know the words. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Kareem. Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday, Unc. Are we good? Cool. I think cool. Thanks for coming out. Once again, thank you to the New Orleans Jazz Museum and all the staff. We'll be back in a couple of weeks with some new vibrations and frequencies. Hope you can make it. Hope you can tune in on the stream. And thank you so much. Once again, Max Bronstein, Alex Hope Kramer, Jelani Bauman. Peace.
Folks, thank you so much for tuning in at the New Orleans Jazz Museum. Y'all good to go. Okay. We just want to hope that you guys enjoyed Jelani Bauman and you'll stick around because we have an interview coming up after the pause. If you're interested in future events, go to nolajazzmuseum.org. That's nolajazzmuseum.org. One more hand for Jelani and them, y'all. Thank you. Peace.
All right, my name is David Cunion. I'm the curator here at the New Orleans Jazz Museum, and we are going to be interviewing. Well, I'm going to let you introduce yourself.
My name is Jelani Bauman, trumpeter, composer.
All out man about town.
Yeah.
I guess the first thing I want, just to get us started talking, what's your first musical memory? The first time you remember music being around?
That's a great question. The first like vivid memory of like music is actually my grandfather gave me a trumpet.
Okay.
When I was like 5, and that was like my first musical memory in regards to like the instrument.
Mm-hmm.
In regards to hearing music, I feel like I'm hearing like People Bryson and like on the radio and stuff. My mom is a big People Bryson fan, so we used to listen to a lot of that, but a whole lot of other things. I remember actually things are coming back now. My uncle Jamil Sharif, he put out a record in 1993 entitled "Portraits of New Orleans," and we used to listen to that a lot in the car going to school and stuff. So like that, and listen to People Bryson, and
and the family.
Family, yeah.
Explain the musicians in your family and the lineage of it, since we started touching on that.
Yeah, for sure. So, I'm a member of the Humphrey Sharif legacy. It goes back 5 generations back to my great grandfather J.B. Humphrey, Jim Brown Humphrey, who was he was born in 1859 in Sellers, Louisiana, which is now I believe Norco, Louisiana, and he was a cornetist. He played all instruments. Early on in his younger days, he was actually like a part of an opera. He was playing in the pit orchestra, and he went on to teach a lot of who are people who are recognized as the first generation of jazz musicians. He helped establish a lot of the early brass bands in the late 19th century. After the Emancipation Proclamation and everything, I believe it was Governor Henry Clay Warmoth. He had a plantation where a lot of the Black American free people were working, and their children needed to do something, during the time of them working. So my great grandfather would go from New Orleans to the plantation and teach a lot of these kids music. And the interesting thing about J.B. Humphrey was he made a big emphasis on syncopation with the students, and some of these people included the trumpet player Chris Kelly, and I've heard like Kid Ory, and he was he influenced people like Papa Celestin and stuff like that. So he had a big impact on creating like the Eureka Brass Band, Olympia, Excelsior Brass Band. He had either direct or indirect impacts on all of those early brass bands in the late 19th century, early 20th century. Mm-hmm. He had one son and I believe 3 daughters. His oldest son was William Eli Humphrey, who was my great uncle. William Eli Humphrey was a clarinetist who I've read that he replaced Sidney Bechet in Bunk Johnson's band, and he was he had 3 sons. His sons were Willie Humphrey, Percy Humphrey, and Earl Humphrey. Well, Willie played clarinet, Percy was a trumpeter, Earl was a trombonist. Willie and Percy are both known for being original members in the Preservation Hall Jazz Band. And then my great grandmother was James Etta Humphrey. She played piano and bass. Wasn't professional. Actually, her sister, I believe it was Lillian Humphrey, was actually like a professional classical bassist and played in the Balloon Symphony Orchestra during the early 20th century. But my great grandmother James Etta Humphrey, her son was my grandfather, Emory Humphrey Thompson, who later changed his name to Umar Sharif. Umar Sharif was one of the great trumpet players from the city who had made his great contribution by being known for bringing the modern styles of New York and bebop to New Orleans.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Is he's one of the first modern cats,
right?
Playing modern modern music,
right,
modern music, whatever that means. But
bebop,
post swing music,
exactly. Like before him, everybody was still like in a traditional bag and so forth. But he, from what I know, he was pretty like much like a prodigy. He really was catching on to the trumpet. I heard his grandfather was the only one that his grandfather gave a trumpet to when he was like 5 years old, a little kid or something like that. So I feel like it was like his grandfather knew something was special about him. This is a really great picture of my great-great-grandfather and my grandfather. Might have been like 1929 to 30. My grandfather's a little baby, But yeah, he went to New York in like the late 40s, early 50s, and he played with like Louis Russell's big band, and Roy Haynes was in that band. He played with in Lionel Hampton's big band. He played lead in there, and Clifford Brown was in that band, and Quincy Jones, and Benny Golson, and Gigi Grace, Art Farmer. All those guys were around during that time. But he decided to come back to New Orleans, and I know he was kind of like the big brother to like Ellis Marcellus and Harold Batiste and Kid Jordan and Elvin Batiste, and they all looked up to him from what I've heard. Yeah. And he shared a lot of the information with them, and he was just a phenomenal guy. He could do it all: play lead, play solo. He actually stopped playing music professionally for like about 20 years, because not only does he has the musical contribution to New Orleans, but he also has the great contribution of bringing Islam to New Orleans. He's like the first individual known for like bringing Islam to New Orleans and Louisiana and parts of Mississippi and things like that.
That's really heavy.
Yeah, so
being the first guy to bring kind
of
Nation of Islam type stuff.
Yeah,
okay.
So he was he did that, and he returned to performing around I believe 1974, 75 in Chicago, and then later on he started, like I was saying earlier, he was performing Broadway shows like the Black and Blue. He ended up in the late 80s, early 90s doing work with Jazz Lincoln Center with Wynton Marcellus, and just phenomenal. And then there's my uncle Jamil Sharif, who's still active trumpet player in town. He's one of the kings. He's one of the patriarchs of the music now. He's done so much. He's like, it's funny. My grandfather's known for like bringing the modern music to the city during that time, and talking to my uncle and having him sharing conversations he had with Ellis. During the 80s, my uncle had a group called the New Orleans Jazz Couriers, and that was comprised of him. Harry Connick Jr. was on piano. Walter Payton played bass. Reginald Ville played bass sometimes. Victor Goings, Calvin Harris, I believe it was drummer Noel Kendrick, and there's a trombonist Kevin. I'm forgetting his last name right now. But those guys, during the era of the Young Lions era, when Wynton and Branford and Donald and Terrence were all playing in New York, with Art Blake and others. Great musicians, they were keeping that energy up in New Orleans, playing that snug and stuff. So he played a great part in doing that. But he's also a great trumpet player, play any style. He's played he's on Dr. John records. He's played with George Porter. He does a lot of traditional things. He was the music coordinator for the great film Ray Charles biopic. Overall, great businessman, phenomenal trumpet player, somebody, my trajectory in music would be totally different without him. And
given all that lineage, were you ever not going to be a musician?
Yeah, people didn't really expect me to be a musician. I didn't really expect to be a musician, to be honest. It kind of, like I said, I got my first trumpet when I was like 5 from my grandfather. I vividly remember that. And I had it, but I wasn't really interested in it. And it's actually the funny thing. I was telling my cousin earlier. My father, who's my mother's side is the musical side, but my father, comes from great New Orleans roots, cultural roots as well. And he took the initiative to buy me a trumpet, I was a real quiet kid, wasn't really doing too much. So he wanted, he wanted me to, get active in something. So he took the initiative to buy me a trumpet when I was 13. And before that, there was different different instances where I had opportunities to maybe play, but it never really came into fruition until that time I was 13. And before that, I was like, I'm a big sports fan, so I wanted to be like a sportscaster or something like that. Or I thought about being a doctor, but once I got the trumpet, even though I barely knew how to play, it kind of felt like, all right, this is it. Like, this is the path. And I haven't stopped.
Mm-hmm. What was your kind of first professional gigs? How did you first start coming out and playing?
Man, so for me, man, so I'm gonna give you some more background. I'm originally from New Orleans, and I grew up between here and New York.
Okay.
Okay. So, some of my early gigs came in New York, playing on my own name at first. A lot of stuff came under my own name, and then I remember one thing that really it was a great experience. Was one time Donald Harrison, he hired me to play at Fest one year. Mm-hmm. I was in college. I feel like that was like a benchmark for me. I was like 20. It was like a house band situation at Tipitina's, and he hired me to be a part of the house band. I learned a lot that night, and that was like 2010. So I was about 21 years old. I feel like that was like the start. And then I graduated from college that following year, 2011, and started, playing with some of my peers, Gregory Ajid and Max Moran and folks at the Maison and stuff. And then a lot of things have just developed from there, between here in New York and other places.
So you're still living here?
Yeah,
are you traveling back and forth to?
I'm here for right now. I'm here at this moment. Like I've been back. I was living in Doha, Qatar for about a year and a half, from 2017 to 2019, and I returned to New Orleans in April 2019.
Now, what brought you there, of all places?
Oh man, it was just the universe.
Okay.
Like I went out there to play a residency at the St. Regis Hotel, and coincidentally, I had some family out there, and I just decided to take another route. I mean, I feel like it's nothing new. Like a lot of musicians in history are known for taking time to live abroad for extensive amounts of time, and I felt like that was my moment. Mm-hmm. to experience that, and it was I was out there for about a year and a half, and it was
did
really
that affect or change your music in any way, or the way you play?
Definitely. I mean, when I was over there, I got to experience a lot of different traditional musics, and one specifically was traditional Sudanese music. There was a lot of musicians who I met from Sudan. I like learning their music, just picking up new melodies. I felt like that brought a new layer of openness to my playing, but also it gave me time, since I was so far removed from the U.S. It gave me time to kind of digest all my experiences up until that point, and kind of delve into the music from in a more isolated situation where I had a different experience, like had a different type of clarity versus being in within the environment that's heavily saturated with the music and the culture. Being away for a while, I feel like I had time to just kind of be in a bubble and like really get more specific on like understanding the music as best as I could at that time.
Do these traditional Sudanese melodies or anything you learned about there, does that work its way into your playing now?
Yeah, I feel like the sensibilities of it. There's some songs that I still haven't. I've been wanting to incorporate into my set list, and I haven't done yet. But it's going to be happening. I really want to figure out how to get some Sudanese musicians to New Orleans, because I feel like overall I feel like Sudan is a place that doesn't really get a lot of attention, and there's for various aspects. I mean, there's a lot of turmoil going over there, and like that doesn't get enough attention by the by the world. But also just a lot of brilliant people, brilliant musicians, beautiful people, and like I said, I got to work with a lot of musicians and connected with some vocalists. Some of them I haven't met, but because of social media, we've been able to do different collaborations. But I really would love to get them over to the U.S. at some point.
Mm-hmm. Well, there's a jazz museum that would probably
yeah.
At least give you a place to play it.
Yeah, we got to make that happen, man.
I mean, you do have a venue if you ever could pull this off. And
right.
You never know what we can do.
Yeah.
So, with all of this kind of lineage, that you're coming out of, do you find it tricky to try and do your own thing, or is it just come naturally?
It's definitely like you feel, if like growing up, I feel like in ways there were definitely a lot of instances where I put a lot of pressure on myself, unnecessary pressure. But as I've gotten older, I've been maturing. I'm just more comfortable in my skin. Mm-hmm. Like I'm definitely like want to take the initiative to learn as much and continue to deepen my roots in understanding the music of my predecessors and ancestors, not just my family, but just New Orleans as a whole. But at the same time, like I'm Jelani, and I'm the only being in this existence that can articulate my vision as best in my way. So I have to I live in those dualities, and as I grow to become more, as I grow as a man, as a person, like those, I'm becoming more and more comfortable with that. And I'm excited because I'm planning to record some music within the next month or two, and I feel like just bringing all of this together, it's gonna be a real treat to share with the world, and also, but like I think it's important to I think Dizzy Gillespie said have one foot in the past and one foot in the future, because a lot of the lineage, their contributions definitely has an influence on the way I approach music and approach my originality, mm-hmm. And I think it also, me being the latest addition to the lineage, I think it gives me an opportunity to reinterpret a lot of that music for now, and I'm still bringing these songs, bringing this repertoire to the forefront, but in a way I feel comfortable with doing that.
Mm-hmm. The music you're going to be recording, is it stuff you've composed, or is it standards, more traditional stuff? Or
it's going to be a lot. Like I said, I'm the latest addition. Like I was born in 1989. So it's going to be it's not just going to be it's going to be originals. It's going to be some. I would definitely want to do some. There's going to be some covers, but also not just within the quote unquote jazz idiom. I grew up in the 90s and 2000s, so hip hop, R&B, all those things. I mean, we're in the world. I think the young musicians, we have to be very knowledgeable of music overall. We have to be able to, play strut with some barbecue, but also I need to know how to write a string quartet. I need to know about Jay Dilla. I need to know this Tupac record. I need to know these Earth, Wind and Fire horn lines, so I want to be, I think it's important for me to not get so caught up in what my predecessors do, but be present to where I'm at and while I'm alive, and be current with the people who are here.
Yeah, because when you think about it, Dizzy Gillespie, for instance, was playing the music of his time,
right,
and turning that into jazz standards.
Right.
It's important, I think, like you're saying, for people of this time to be playing the music at this time and doing it in a jazz fashion.
Exactly, because I feel I've really been focusing on my lane. Being in my lane is where I can develop and evolve to the best me. At the end of the day, I can never be my uncle. I can never be my grandfather. I can never be my great-great-grandfather. I can learn a lot from them, but for me to be my best, I have to embrace who I am. And I think, it's a balance. I feel like, individuality can sometimes be stigmatized, but I feel like for us to be our best selves, we got to be ourselves, And like I said, as I've gotten older, I've been able to tap into that and be more confident about that, but still always studying, because when you make your statement, when you make a contribution, I feel like it's best to be a part of something that's bigger than you and be informed by something that's bigger than you. Whereas if you're just just doing something based on your experience as separate from everything else, it may be as shallow. This is not an absolute answer, but it's just the way I see it. When I observe the people I have a lot of reverence for, like I see, they were definitely in their own thing, like Coltrane, Miles, definitely great individuals, like unique individuals, really about their interpretation and perspective on life, music, art. But at the same time, you still can tell they were a part of something bigger than them, and that's what I'm striving for.
What other, besides your gig in 2 weeks here, where else can people see you play?
You can catch me every Sunday at the Peacock Room inside the Hotel Fontenot.
Okay.
Technology. It's all good. The Peacock Room every Sunday inside the Hotel Fontenot. I play like once a month, pretty much, at Bar Marilou. I just played there last night. I'm playing. Well, this month.
Where's the Bar Marilou?
It's on the Carondelet, right before Poitras.
Okay.
I'm actually playing there on Valentine's Day with the same group we had today.
For those of you looking for a good date.
Yeah, bring your lovers. Yeah. Bring yourself and find a lover. But yeah, we'll be there on Monday, Valentine's Day. What else is coming up? I'm playing some dates at there's a restaurant, Capulet, that I do some dual things with the guitarist Max Bronstein. Next Friday I'm going out to I'll be in New Hampshire with Adonis Rose with the Nojo 7. We're doing some things. We're doing a quick hit out there next Friday the 18th. Mm-hmm. But you can find me regularly, at the Capulet, Bar Marilou, Peacock Room, and catch me
all
here.
All the high class joints.
Yeah, places like that.
I got one more question for you.
Yeah.
What do you listen to at home for when you're just like, cooking or hanging out or relaxing?
Man, it depends. Like last year, man, I was really into the like Busta Rhymes put out this new record. Mm-hmm. It's ELE Part 2. I forgot what it is. Like ELE is an acronym for something, but I can't think about it right now. But Busta Rhymes is like one of my favorite MCs. Mm-hmm. Like his rhythmic and his voice and his pitch, like his ideas is just amazing. So he hadn't released a record in a while, so I was listening a lot to that. And there's another MC, MF Doom.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he passed away last year. I was checking him out a lot. It really varies. I can be listening to that, or I might, for a while I was checking out this Ravel piece for harp, clarinet, and string quartet, or I'd be listening to some traditional numbers. Mm-hmm. Recently, a CD that I've been checking out a lot that's in my CD player in my car is Ralph Peterson's Art. It's a tribute to Art Blakey.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's a great record. Ralph. So I went. My undergrad studies were at Berklee College of Music, and Ralph Peterson was one of my professors. Just
excellent.
Man, one of the great drummers of all time. Just a real dear to my heart, man. He has such a great impact on so many young musicians, and I'm real fortunate to have been in his presence under his tutelage. And like his record that features him and Graham Haynes is on cornet, and Craig Handy and Frank Lacey, Michelle Rosewoman, and Phil Bowler. So that's something I've been checking out a lot. Yeah. It's a great record. So, I'm all over the place.
All over the place. That's good. Yeah. You got to be that way these days. So. All right. Well, make sure y'all, he'll be playing again here on the 25th, 2:00. And, check him out at Bar Marilou and at Capulet. And you said one more that I can't
Peacock
remember.
Room.
In the Peacock Room. So, Jelani Bauman here.
Appreciate you.